Welcome to another edition of the Sports War. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Port. And once again, it is the Barnes and Tony Show. Anthony, how are you, my friends?
I'm doing great, dude. Happy hump day, dude. Very exciting day here for the Sports Port. I'm super stoked. We're doing the AFC previews, a little prediction action. We're also recapping 2 New York baseball wins last night.
How many times this season could we have said that?
I think this is like maybe the third or 4th time. It's kind of ridiculous.
We expected a lot more of that coming into the season. That's for sure. But hey, we'll take everything that we could get at this point. That's for sure. Before we get to the comments, I was just kind of curious. Did you end up getting Colony yesterday, Tony?
No Colony yesterday, dude. What did I do after I got home last night for dinner? I made an egg sandwich, actually, really good.
How'd you do it?
So I had I guess it's like this small hero roll from Trader Joe's. Mm-hmm. Cut that in half, put some butter and cheese on it, threw it in the oven, melted that, toasted it, and then I just scrambled 3 eggs up in a pan. Slapped it on that roll, a little hot sauce and ketchup.
Toast it up, warm it up.
It was actually really good.
That does sound really good.
Yeah. Simple, dude.
I was over Sam's last night, and we actually got takeout from Red Rooster. Have you ever been there?
Red Rooster sounds familiar.
Yeah, there's one Ridgefield, Wilton, I think Newtown as well. But it, kind of a basic dinner thing. I just got a grilled chicken sandwich with cheddar cheese, spicy aioli. And I think avocado.
Nice.
And with onion rings. How I am with the onion rings.
Of course.
Really good. And then her mom got like a big order of Brussels sprouts, so I had some. Do you like Brussels sprouts?
Love Brussels sprouts.
So I haven't had them in a really long time, and they were like, like the fried with bacon, or broiled, whatever. Ridiculous.
Oh,
so good. So I have to say that really good spot. I've never eaten in one. They've gone to eat there a couple times. But I've picked out takeout there before. Looks like a solid spot.
And you did take out last night, you said again.
Did take out last night. And it's right down the street on the Norwalk Wilton line from LA Fitness over there. So definitely I'd say I think a trip there is in our future, Tony.
I'm down. Let's do it.
Yeah. Can't beat a good bar, good food. Kind of reminds me of Little Pub a little bit. That type of
love
place.
Little Pub.
Yeah,
very nice.
Haven't had that in forever too.
Yeah, honestly, me too. And I actually go there quite often. The one in Fairfield, the
Santorini wrap,
buttermilk crunch wrap.
Yes, yeah. And some people would get tight, but I have to say, boy, I always really liked it. Maybe chill on the nachos. Don't get the nachos there, but other than that, I feel like everything's pretty good quality.
So you don't like the nachos there?
I feel like compared to Archie's, and Archie's is a tough thing to match.
It is, but really, I like them. I mean, they got chili on them. They're big. I don't know, dude.
I don't know what. I guess it's been years, but for whatever reason, my recollection, they were cheeched, Tony, in terms of the portion.
Portion, really?
Yeah, I don't know if you remember it being like a big stack,
large mound of nachos normally for me. I feel.
Wow. Okay. So
maybe we'll have to try that place again.
Yeah.
Too, dude.
Yeah. Add it to the list, Tony. Add it to the list. We got some comments.
Do we have a ton of comments?
Shout out to the company.
As always, shout out to the company. And we have, again, the theme here for Kev Du being the first one in here saying, let's go, baby. Kev Du in the house. Brian, and he spelled it brain, but he corrected it later, planning for the Yankee parade. He said, Mets and Yankees still suck. Josh B says, morning, gents. Brian is back in the Yankees playoff train, dude. Shaking his head. Let's go, he says, hashtag repping the company.
One thing before we continue here.
What do you got?
I'm not really going to respond to this, but we are going to get to these comments about the playoff train, the parade. So just everybody watch it. Keep an eye out for that.
Okay, keep an eye out for that, dude.
Yeah.
Speaking of keeping an eye out, Kev Du saying, we want the smoke. Hashtag rep the company. Shout out to the whole Downtime TV Sports Sport crew. Let's go, baby. Love that.
100%. Love hearing from Kev. Love hearing from Josh
Love
B.
it, dude.
You guys are the best.
Kev also says Margaritaville tomorrow. RIP, by the way, Jimmy Buffett for Barton Hahn. Let's go. That's Margaritaville where? AC?
No. In Times Square.
No kidding.
Yeah,
dude.
it's so annoying. I would love to go, but
Why can't you go?
Well, I mean, it's at 12 o'clock in New York City.
Thursday? Wow, dude. Talk about waking up with a Bloody Mary and then just taking a train over, dude.
It would be awesome. It really would be. And especially, too, Tony, tell me this isn't the perfect day. You go there, and I know, okay, you'd miss the opener for football, but Yankee game after.
I know.
Right there,
dude. That'd be so sick.
It pains me, Tony.
I mean, you want to just go, dude?
I wish. Just not in the cards this time.
No, it's not in the cards for me.
But a tailgate definitely in my future. I'll tell you that much. And I think all of our futures.
Yes, no, that's for certain, dude. And then Kev also notices he spelled your name wrong. Should have known better. Brian's name is his brother's name. Shaking his head as well right now, dude. Oh, I mean, we got
hey, all good, Kev. All good.
Looks like we got some shit talking here. Josh B says, "Where's Pinky Kev?" Ha 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 ha. Kev dude says, "Kick rocks, Josh."
And then
Josh confirming, saying, "Damn, it would be epic if we showed up. Dude. That would be sick, dude."
Working on the tailgate though, I think that's pretty much a lock for one tailgate minimum this year. I have not. Have you ever done a football tailgate, Tony?
Like ever?
Yeah, NFL.
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh, Giants back in the day. Yeah. Your family used to do it, or did you used to do it like with some of your buddies from like high school?
With the fam for the most part. Yeah,
grill or no?
Yes. Grill.
Wow. Was your like who was real into it out of your parents?
It was actually more of like some of our family friends. That were
family
into
friends.
The
okay.
Part. My uncle, too, huge Jets fan.
Uncle Richie,
ginormous Jets fan.
Is he pumped for the year?
Yeah, he is. I actually haven't really talked to him about it much, dude. I should tell him to call in, dude. It actually, I want to say for maybe his 50th birthday. My cousins bought him because he used to be a fireman. They bought him like a custom Jets fireman's hat, like helmet.
Wow.
He wears that to the game, kind of like Fireman Fred, is it?
Fireman Ed.
Fireman Ed, dude.
I will give you a break. You're a new Jets fan, Tony. You know, if you had been one your whole life, it would be a different story.
Yes, yeah.
Anything stick out from the tailgate days? Like anything that like used to be just ridiculous that you'd grill up? Like,
I mean, definitely when I was younger, it was all about the hot dog intake.
The hot dog intake.
Hot dogs, dude.
I heard you and Manny talking about this. Did you say yesterday that 6 was a perfect number? Did you say that or no? Wow.
I mean, over the course of the day, I'm saying like you just.
What's the course of the day? Like a 12 to 5?
Yeah, maybe we'll call it 12 to 6.
12 to 6, 6.
Dude.
Wow.
You don't think so?
I
6
was
hours,
saying,
you know,
but
like,
just in it's not even about the amount of food. I think it's about the amount of dog, Tony. And I just feel like 3 hot dogs, you know, especially. Well, first of all, how are you having the hot dog? Are you just having it with ketchup?
No. Well, I don't know. You switch it up. Sometimes just ketchup, mustard. Sometimes I'm just feeling just ketchup, and then sometimes obviously I love the mustard kraut. You know.
And I'm sure you would almost be disgusted in this, but for me, like I am just hammering the toppings, Tony. Like it's almost falling off the dog.
Really?
So I could not have 6. Like,
that's too much.
3.
What do you
put?
Like literally everything, like relish,
everything they
sauerkraut,
got,
ketchup, mustard.
There's really,
onions.
The only thing I wouldn't want, and I don't know if people really do this or not. Maybe like they would do a chipotle mayo on the bun, but I don't do mayo on the hot dog.
Yeah,
do people do that or no?
Not that I know of.
Probably a chipotle. I could see a chipotle mayo.
But there's no place for that.
No. But I would say, honestly, for me right now, Dutch's, I think, has the best hot dog. The long dog, chili, cheese, bacon. I think that's where it's at.
That does sound good, dude.
Tell me flavor combo, Tony, with the vanilla milkshake.
Wow.
That's like, you know, and it's nice, too, because Dutch is in Norwalk, 24 hours. So,
is it really?
You know, let's say you're coming back home, long day, whatever. You know it's
Dutch's.
Yeah, as long as the shake machine's not turned off. They're not McDonald's, so usually it's on.
Still never had a dog from there, dude.
From Dutch's. Wow.
I know. Jay had a hot dog from the restaurant over the weekend.
No good.
Foot-long dog. I mean, he said it was good, but it didn't.
I was going to say boiled. Was it?
Probably. I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
It was smothered in there. Chili, I think. It was, I don't know.
I don't know how you boil a dog at this point. I know. I guess
carts in the city.
No, but carts at the game, aren't those boiled? Like if you get it from the vendor,
Yeah,
at a
outside the
baseball game.
stadium.
No,
Oh,
in the
inside the
guy
stadium?
going around. I'm pretty sure those are boiled.
I want to say, yeah, they seem boiled. They're sweaty, but I guess it
Yeah.
depends on the stadium too. Because I feel like if you go to like the actual concessions, a lot of time they're actually grilled.
True. Yeah,
You
I
know?
guess I was more thinking of the guy going around.
But
Yeah.
I like a dirty water dog, dude.
Whew, how to? I don't know.
Do you know
I
that
don't
there's a hot dog cart outside City Hall in Manhattan?
Yeah.
Makes over $100,000 a year.
Wow.
Selling hot dogs.
I wonder how much as you would say, Sabret truck outside of Yankee Stadium makes. I mean, that guy's got to be raking it in.
Oh my God. Yeah, dude.
It's funny too. I asked him like in the off season if he goes anywhere else, and he's just like looking at me like I'm crazy. He's like, "No, I'm here every day."
Yeah, they have because they have a permit for their specific locations,
Right.
dude. And
Okay.
dude, I think like nowadays, I mean, it costs like I think $1 million to get a permit.
But I don't get. I mean, sure, like I'm sure some people will come by, but like that car off the train off season, I guess there's some soccer sometimes, and I don't know. Like not much is
Right.
going on at the stadium. So I'm saying,
Right.
I don't know how that guy does it.
Yeah, I don't know either.
He's got to take off some time.
No, I'm sure he does, dude.
But yeah, legend, absolute legend. I really do like his sausage and peppers. You can get hot or sweet.
Oh, it sounds so good right now.
And then
Stop.
he juices it up.
Oh,
Yeah, man. Somehow it always goes back to food. And one more thing, I know we've talked about this, and they were talking about Margaritaville. Josh B saying it would be epic. But where you are big on Margaritaville? Like, where are you with Margaritaville?
Oh, yeah, I love Margaritaville. You kidding me?
Anything specific from there that you like?
Oh, the food?
Yeah.
I mean, I've never had a bad meal. Typically, I do the burgers. I've definitely had like a quesadilla there before
Fish and
as
chips?
well. No, never fish and chips.
Fish and
there.
chips are good.
But I will now. I would be open to trying that. dude.
Nachos, I want to say maybe are 5 pounds. Like no one finishes them,
Yeah,
literally.
I've had the nachos. I've had mozzarella sticks from there as well, dude.
Do you do ordering full mozzarella, like full on the order or no?
Like, do I say mozzarella?
Yeah.
Yeah. I always, I
Oh
never
my
say
God.
mozzarella, dude.
Honestly, Tony, though, no one's ever like the wait staff, like not even like intentionally, but just kind of had like a funny face after you said that.
No, one time I was in Seattle and I said it.
Seattle.
And it was at like a salad bar, and I was there for work with Gino actually, and I was getting him a salad to bring back to him. Of course, he wants mozzarella, and like it's a station where you go from whatever, and like one of the last things you get is cheese, right? And I say I'm gonna have mozzarella, and he's like, look, he like goes back to the meat station and is like, what did you want? And I was like, the mozzarella, and he was like, what? And I was like, mozzarella. Seattle, dude. What a fucking clown area, huh?
I know. You know what's a shame though? I have to
step
say,
it up, dude.
I like at the time, and this is before all that stuff happened there. I think it was in 2019, but I have to say I had a good time.
I had a great time there.
I toured CenturyLink, the Seattle Sounders, the soccer team was practicing at the time. So it was off season for football. T-Mobile Park right across the street. So would have loved to see a game. But we had this Airbnb and 3 levels and full top roof patio. Oh, and you could see the Space Needle from there.
Oh, that's beautiful. That is beautiful, dude.
It was great. It was awesome.
Yeah. I would like to go back because I was there for work, so I couldn't go to the Needle. But we went to like is it not Quincy Market, obviously, but whatever market they have there.
Yeah, where the coffee. Yeah, I forgot what.
Yeah, but we went there. It was interesting too. I think this was back in 2019 for me. And there was like people like smoking weed everywhere. I was like,
right,
whoa, dude.
Yeah,
we was like walking around with joints, and I go, that's.
And then crazy. It's something Stove Brewery or something. Did you go there? It's like on the water. It's like the newest.
Oh my God, yeah. I have been there, dude.
That place so sick. And I was pissed because the people I was with, they were big on we got to try every brewery. And I'm over there like, could we just like stay here all day instead?
Yeah. Oh my
like
God,
what's gonna be better than this?
And
then we're going to
nice.
the I think it's called the Diller Hotel, which is just really a bar. It used to be a hotel. And it's like this complete dive across the street. Like, I don't know. They're like stuff like that. It's like I get it. Whoa, it's historic, but no. Give me a nice new bar, water views. Like I don't need rinky dink hole in the wall. Like on vacation, especially.
Right. A vacation would be pampered, Brian.
Yes, exactly. Couple more comments here.
Yeah, we have quite a few comments here. A little bit of again, like some conversations between the company here.
Steve, shout out Steve. Shout out to the company.
Dude, coming in and says, "Sup, boys? Are the Yankees, dare I say, back?" Shout out to the company, dude.
Yankees win.
Can't wait to be blackout at Margaritaville tomorrow. It'll be like I'm in Key West, he says.
Tony, isn't this torture?
Dude,
like this Margaritaville
dude,
talk.
it kind of is, bro. And Margaritaville too. Like, oh my god.
I feel like I could have made it work. Like, I know,
dude?
obviously, you know, we just recently linked up with everybody, but I feel like if we had known, I don't know, maybe a month in advance or something, I think we could have made it work.
Oh my god, dude, a month in advance would have been perfect, actually. Kev, dude, you guys should come tomorrow, dude. I would love to, but
believe me, Kev, believe me.
Josh saying big stepper Steve, sup Prez, and then Josh says, no, Steve, the Yankees are not back, dude. Shaking his head, dude. Josh B, his neck's gotta be tight now of all this shaking of the head. Honestly,
yeah.
Steve saying anything is possible. Prez 7.5 games back. Sorry, Prez, I'm distracted. Did someone say beer? Josh says no, Steve. That is not possible.
And first of all, great to have Steve with us.
Oh yeah,
he recently, I think, just followed me on Twitter, and I've just seen from his post, he's got the same, you know, Yankee mindset as me, which is amazing, of course.
Clearly. Loves the drinking.
But I'm torn here, Tony, because I was planning on going to football, but like, what do you think? I mean, or is it good? Because then we've built up the suspense about this baseball conversation that we'll get to in a little bit. What do you think?
What do you mean you plan on going to the football?
No, I'm saying like right now, talking previews before baseball. What do you think?
You mean for the show?
Commenting a lot on the baseball, but
well, I would say that the baseball is a bit more the football is a bit more like pressing, relevant.
So we got to go there first. So let's go to the world of Major League Baseball.
It's deep to left. It's 700. Albert Pujols.
Yeah, what a play! Stop it. Yep. And Alonso cracks one of the Mets win the ball game. Out of sight.
And it works at 100 miles an hour. 14 strikeout.
Drove deep to left field. There it goes. See ya.
Everybody, the doofus himself, including Steve, who, am I wrong, Tony? Is this the first time he's joining us?
No.
Or it's been like there was a little break, right? Is that what it was?
Yeah, and normally I feel like it's just the quick little drop in, shout out, what's up, guys? So, but now he's ready. Margaritaville's got him hyped.
Margaritaville's got him hyped. We're happy to have him with us. And I know you guys enjoyed the fake out, but my whole thing is here. This conversation is so great that I just must continue it. And let's just talk in general before we get to the specifics of yet another win last night. But there is this sentiment, and I'm not going to lie, I almost get it from every Yankee fan that I know. You know, Steve, is one of the rare exceptions. But there's something there. And I don't know if you could relate to this, Tony, or you see what I'm saying here of everybody. And first of all, including myself, I mean, who's more tight about the way that this season has gone? I mean, nobody is more tight than me. Let's just get that out of the way. So we all came into this season all disappointed about the way last season ended and just figured, I mean, going on year 14, this has to be our time. We're all so ready for it. We're also ready to get hyped for Yankee postseason baseball. And this season happens the way it happens. And of course, it started out fine. I mean, it wasn't great, but for the Judge injury, things were looking okay. Then a complete free fall, rock bottom, of course, being the 9-game losing streak. So that obviously, took a toll on everybody, me included. So I just feel like there's something that a lot of Yankee fans have where because they're so pissed off about the way that this season has gone that they feel that there can't be any sense of optimism, of hope, that really almost everything has to be negative in the whole conversation. I see this all over Twitter, and it's about how nothing's gonna change until Cashman and Boone are let go. The more games that they win the rest of this season, the worse off it's gonna be for us for change. And I have to say, I don't think any of that's true. I think everything for next season, whether we like it or not, has been predetermined that both Cashman and Boone are already going to be back. So let's just start with that. And then number two, we all couldn't get, and I know not enjoyment, but you know what I mean, just the amount of complaining, me included, that we all did, the past couple months about how bad they're playing, how embarrassing it is. And now that there is some type of hope, and of course, besides the games that we've won, the big thing is that Jason Dominguez and Austin Wells instantly making contributions, and some of the other guys. And I know Pereira's had a tough time, probably tougher than anybody. We've seen Peraza and Spurts do well. But it's like they don't want to acknowledge that at all, that, whoa, wait a second. And then all of a sudden, because these guys are here and they're energizing the team, we're seeing results out of LeMahieu. Stanton, the average is low, too many strikeouts, but more home runs are coming. And whether, 7 out of 8 is 7 out of 8. We haven't done that all season. So I just feel like everybody's mindset is, Tony, that because everything was so bad, so embarrassing, frustrated, hurt all of us fans so much, that now that we see something positive, we can't acknowledge it as punishment to the team for how they performed earlier in the season, and that nothing has changed, and that stuff isn't as looking up as it actually is. And give me something. I mean, do you get what I'm saying? That it's like, because they just feel like, oh no, that they killed me this year. I'm not getting back into it. There's no hope, and blah blah blah. This is a flash in the pan. Do you get that sense, though, that a lot of people are just angry and just don't want to get off of that because of what they put us through this year?
Yes. I mean, I think personally, sports fans, I think all over the world, specifically sports fans around New York, I mean, they can be very spiteful, you know? I think that's what people are doing. They may be, again, I mean, they probably feel, they feel disappointed. They feel almost betrayed. A lot of this year was, I feel like everyone was calling for certain moves, and the Yankees just weren't doing anything, right? So I think these people are coming from not necessarily a bad place, but it's just like, a lot of people, again, like it's tough to be in a situation like the Yankees are, to be down and out for a while, to see some of the worst baseball they've played in, I mean, as far as I know that I've seen them play. And then to try and be like, oh, okay, I try to be positive this season at least. I mean, I can see why it's tough for people, but I still think that you have to acknowledge the fact that there is some good coming out of the team right now. And yeah, you may think like, oh, like there's still a big question mark on what the team's going to look like next season, what these young guys are going to be doing next season in terms of performance and everything like that. I mean, it is a big question, but I mean, that's the question every season with almost every team and every player. Like, you really don't know at the end of the day how Shohei Ohtani is going to perform next season. Like, how is he going to, you really don't know what Aaron Judge is going to be performing next season. But the fact is that you're a fan. You got to believe, you got to have confidence in your team. And I understand it's like you said, it's like these people are aggravated, and maybe, it is much easier to be, negative and pessimistic as opposed to being optimistic. And I think deep down, like you're saying, these people don't want to see the Yankees do well now, because it's like, it's too little, too late. You dragged us through this entire season. all the fans, we dragged them through the mud, like had a horrific year, literally the polar opposite of what was expected of the Yankees.
Right.
And now it's like, yeah, you call up these guys and they're doing well. I mean, I see why people have a hard time rooting for this, you know, because people were out. It was over, you know, it's over. And yeah, like statistically, number wise, they could pull something crazy off, but I mean, I don't know. I do blame people for some things that they say, like you're saying, like not acknowledging some good things that are happening and being positive about the team in general. But I also see where those people are coming from, where it's like, why am I even rooting right now? Like, I'm already, like, you made it pretty clear that you're on to next season, and so am I, sort of deal, you know?
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the biggest problem I have is, you know, I'm talking about, you know, rooting for them doing well and all this stuff. But it's like, you know, in Jason Dominguez, we have a guy who's 20 years old. And I know, you know, how many guys stay with the franchise that long, whatever. But the truth of the matter is, I mean, he has a chance to be great and to have a 20-year career with us. So first of all, how is that not exciting? And I just think there is something for these guys, you know, like Stanton, like LeMahieu, and even Gleyber to an extent. And I know, you know, overall he's had a great year, but it seems like there's even more life with these younger guys coming up. So I just feel like that affects the team so much differently. There's so much more energy, so much more excitement. And, you know, I've talked about this all year, but I just feel like there's something to, you continue to do well. It just makes you believe more and more. And as we stand now, you know, with 24 games left, 7.5 out of the wild card, and some easier matchups on the schedule, matchups against guys that we're chasing, Boston and Toronto. You know, you combine that, that's 10 games that we have against them. And I know, you know, win 10 games, and especially, you know, when 7 of them are on the road, like you can't like think that you're going to win all 10. I understand that. But what's wrong with taking one game at a time, and just seeing what happens and what, you know, make teams sweat a little bit and just see how far you could take it. And the thing that I think a lot of people, you know, don't want to recognize is you see what's happening to the Rangers now. But when you look at the American League, and other than teams that are out of it, like the Angels, you know, like the Guardians, of course, the White Sox and A's, Tigers, you get the point. But the really good teams, and I guess the Rays to an extent have had their time, but not all of them, you know, like the Blue Jays. And you know, they haven't had that free fall that we experienced. So who's to say there's not going to be some struggles in September for these teams? So I just think it can get interesting quick. And we even talked about this a little while ago about how September is so crazy because teams all season that weren't good, all of a sudden, like you're counting, oh, Dodgers are going to be this team, blah, 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 blah. And it just doesn't happen.
Right.
And so that's why, like, how could you not like having some semblance of chance than having no chance? And if you're a huge fan of your team and you want in the worst way for them to have a chance to get to the top, the pinnacle, why wouldn't you want to see it out? What you're not getting anything out of being negative and just saying they have no chance, it's hopeless. That doesn't do anything. So
but see, I think those people the people do think that. People think being negative and complaining about it makes them feel better. It does not, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you know, I don't know, man. I feel like the toughest thing for a sports fan too is to be like, oh, the season's over. Like, they suck. Like, I'm over them. I'm not watching. I'm not following. I don't care what they do. And then what happens when the Yankees are in the playoffs? If that happens,
Right.
you're the biggest asshole in the world.
Right,
You know?
exactly.
And so it's why
and
even
I don't
risk
even.
that,
And
dude?
I'm sure some of them would go to the extent of saying, "Oh, even if they're in the playoffs, I'm not going to watch." Yeah,
My
BS,
asshole.
dude,
Yeah,
especially the first game you win 8-0. Like you're going to be all in, all of that. So it's just come on.
It does pay to stick with the team, dude.
Yeah, and I take pride in it, and I stick with all my teams. But I'm just saying, specifically the Yankees, I'm seeing it out. And I just don't think that there can be an argument made that the guys that were struggling or not doing what you were expecting to do are performing better. So I mean, LeMahieu, it's unbelievable, Tony. Another home run.
I know,
last
kind
night.
of ridiculous, really ridiculous, actually.
So just with that, and then Judge hasn't even been on fire. Glaber has been on fire. I mean, how does that not get you excited? And how does it not get you excited that, I don't know, in the past, week and a half or so, you've cut 4 games off the wild card deficit.
That's really good.
You got 2 more with the Tigers. You got 3 at home with the Brewers. You have 4 against the Red Sox, who are directly in front of you. So I don't know. I mean, it's just how could the thought not cross your mind after seeing what they did in Houston? It just, I don't know how you could dispute that. And again, I guess the thing I disagree most with people is, how I feel about Boone and Cashman and how. But I just think there's still just something to the fact that if you're good enough, you can get through that. And I believe it right now that with this team currently constituted, sure, try to trade Stan in the offseason, whatever. With the farm system, they're enough to be a very competitive team.
Yeah.
So it just, no matter what Cashman's doing, whatever, I get it. Believe me, I get it. But I just don't think it's as doom and gloom as a lot of people make it seem.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. People do make it seem, I guess, worse than what it is.
Right.
It is still pretty bad, Brian. But I think there is more positives right now than bad. Certainly.
And after going through a 9-game losing streak, I just love the fact that we're talking about something. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect to see Dominguez. And I just, I have a good feeling, we'll see. I guess you could say about Pereira and Peraza, even though especially Peraza, I think he is going to be pretty good. But I just have this vision of a core with Dominguez, Wells, and Volpe. I think, that with Judge, we're talking about a pretty good core of the team. That's what you go for. So let's just see what happens. And I know I'm going to get yelled at along the way. But hey, I'll take it. And last night I mentioned, another Yankee win, this time 5-1. Garrett Cole was on the hill here, a post by Alex Faedo. And the Yankees got going early and often. And this was after a scoreless first inning by Garrett Cole. We were just talking about it. DJ LeMahieu, Tony, a leadoff home run.
So sick.
And it's, you really, I don't know. I don't think it's that he healed mid-season. Do you think it's he made some type of adjustment? What do you think in terms of the uptick in the production, starting with the second half? Do you think that it is an adjustment related, or do you really think it was more recuperation from healing with the toe and all that stuff?
I don't know. I would say, if anything, it's a mixture. But more
the
so,
legend Michael C. Theodore, a guy who never gives up. So that's who we're talking about. I was just calling out all
Yankees' biggest World Series victory ever. I'm saying it right now, Lonnie. That's a shout out to you.
So there's just something to never give up. You remember that, kids.
up, dude?
But yeah, LeMahieu, it's been great what he's done. So let's see. So that was his 15th home run of the year. And after that leadoff home run, somewhat of a pitcher's duel. Cole was able to gut through 6 innings, gave up 8 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, 7 strikeouts. So ERA down to 2.90. And he did pick up his 13th win of the year. The only blemish, he gave up a Miguel Cabrera single to score Carpenter there in the 6th. So that tied the game at 1, but he was able to get the W here, courtesy of a Giancarlo Stanton home run, 451 feet for the 400th home run of his career. Got a nice hand from the crowd, which, I think was classy of them, because obviously, Stanton this season specifically,
very good there.
And going back to midway through last year, has destroyed us with a lack of production.
Oh,
but
yeah.
they respect, an achievement like 400 home runs, and obviously hope that he can be part, of this late push here for the wild card. So it was an absolutely majestic shot. That made it 3-1. The Yankees go to Tommy Kahnle, who all of a sudden has figured it out. We saw him have a disastrous run of 4 or 5 appearances. Last couple have been scoreless. No different here. 13 pitches, 9 strikes, 1 strikeout, no runs, hits, or walks. Loaizaga has been unhittable since coming back from the injured list.
Wow.
A 9-pitch, 8th inning, and ERA down to 0.56.
Very good there.
So kind of shaping up to put himself in the conversation for closer next year. I've talked about how I would love to just cement that at this point. And then in the bottom of the 8th, Gleyber Torres hits a double to clear the bases, scoring Dominguez and Judge. And Dominguez had a double, in that inning after a Judge walk. So nice to see Dominguez continue his stretch here of every game that he's played in the major leagues. He's been able to get a hit. So that made it 5-1. No pressure on Clay Holmes, though, we did see him blow. Obviously, we're talking weeks ago now, a 5-run lead in Miami. No such trouble here. 2-out single. Other than that, a strikeout and, 13 pitches, 8 strikes. So gets the job done. The Yankees are now 69-69 after winning 7 out of their last 8 games. And I know it's easy to say that, out of those 7 wins, 4 of those are against Detroit. But as we already know, 3 of them against Houston. So obviously that counts for something. And we saw in this stretch, Tony, it didn't matter who they were playing, the White Sox, the Angels, the Nationals. You couldn't assume anything. So now we're back to, winning the games that we're supposed to. And they did get a little bit of help last night. You had the Reds walk off the Mariners, a team ahead of them in the wild card standings, and the Rangers got dismantled by the Houston Astros 14-1. And there's some statistic, Tony. I want to say it's like they're, give or take 1 in 10. The Rangers, they pulled out a Yankee style roll call, and since then they're 1 in 10.
Wow.
So trying to copy us, thinking they're back. Little talk, and it is a complete free fall for the Texas Rangers. Hard to think that they're going to make the playoffs at this point.
I know, it's a shame, dude.
It
really is.
And
Crazy.
then also the Rays did walk off the Red Sox. Brandon Lau, a 3-run homer in the bottom of the 11th. So to give us, that full game gained yesterday all over the Red Sox. So things lined up pretty well yesterday. Nothing you could do about this. Blue Jays did beat the A's 7-1, but Bassett on the hill. We talked about Bassett 8 strong, by the way, Tony.
Unbelievable.
So yeah, there you are. 7.5 games back of that wild card. We talked about this stretch of trying to go 21-4, 1-0 so far. Obviously, we'll keep an eye out for it. Now, yesterday you were saying 21-4, which I think you were kind of assuming, Tony, that that would be enough to get in. Now that we're one game through, are we up to 13%, 13.5%?
One game through, Brian.
You can't even give me a percent.
I think we're at the same.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're at the same right now, dude.
And let's see. So let's say 12 games left, Tony.
Okay.
How many games back for you to feel like, wow, I mean, this could happen? Do they need to be
with 12 games left?
So, and that's 11 games from today,
right? So with 12 games left, let's say for it to happen,
or to feel like, oh, I mean, this definitely could happen.
Definitely could happen. I mean, you're thinking like 4 games back,
which
in 12 games, which is like really good.
And you could easily get there. I mean, you need to just gain 3 games in 11 games.
Right. I would say at most within 6, I guess, but that's going to be a little tough.
Yeah. But so, I mean, let's keep it going or no?
Yeah. I mean, why not, dude?
So yeah, I was definitely pumped up to see that. They had to give Austin Wells the off. I mean, they could have DH'd him, but they wanted to DH Stanton, and Rort Vet has become Cole's personal catcher. Kyle Higashioka not playing at all, basically, at this point. But one thing I did have to take issue with today, and did you catch any of DNR today?
Very, very little.
So RJ, it's definitely RJ, I guess, is a Yankee fan. And well, there were 2 things. So RJ was saying, he likes what he's seen, gives you reason for optimism, but he was questioning going into next season with Jason Dominguez as your starting center fielder at age 21. And it's like, what is there to question? Like, what is the question, Tony?
I mean, I don't know exactly what his age has to do with it.
Right.
I mean, I feel like, when Soto came up, was he not 21?
19.
19.
In the World Series, hitting home runs.
He was 19 when he came up?
I mean, I'll check, but I believe so.
Wow, dude, that's crazy.
But I just,
dude, I mean, it's, again, like, I don't think age plays a big factor. I mean, if the guy comes up and feels comfortable and plays well, I mean, you play him, dude. I mean, yeah, maybe you could, in the back of your mind, well, he's have a lot of experience when it comes to whatever, but like, how else is he gonna get the experience,
right?
Other than to start. And
then also, we've struggled to have homegrown talent, continuity, and I understand he's an Yankees fan, Josh, but I'm saying, like, I don't get what the question is. I mean, the talent of Dominguez. We've talked about it many times before. He's penciled in as your center fielder. There's no question. What are they going to re-sign Bader? I mean, it's just like,
no.
What I was getting at is, we've struggled to have position players come up, have a long run with us, and be developed. And here we are, a guy showing us talent, and we're not sure because he's too young and what? That doesn't make any sense. If anything, I think, we've seen over the past 10 years or so, experience is, unfortunately for us, has been a bad thing because these guys are older, they're getting hurt. And yes, Soto did play 116 games, Tony, at age 19.
That's crazy.
In 2018. So no reason that he wouldn't be the opening day center fielder. So there was that. And then, Rick was talking about like the bottom of the Yankee lineup and reading off the batting averages. And it's like, let's actually just pull up what the actual averages were, just to kind of give you a sense here. But my basic point here is, he's complaining how low they are, but it's like the guy has just got recalled or haven't been playing in the majors all season. So yeah, he was talking about it would be 5 through 9. Stanton, okay, we know about Stanton, sure. Volpe 217, but we've talked about this. He had the slump. He's figured it out. He's a rookie. We're not really concerned there. And then he's talking about Pereira 143, Peraza 156, and Rort Vet 109. It's like, okay, what is Rort Vet? Not even had 100 at bats. Peraza has been in the minors all season. Pereira just came up. I mean, I just feel like the way he was saying it, it was like they've been up all season and are in like, oh, the bottom of the lineup is abysmal. And I just am saying, Tony, I don't see it that way at all. I just feel like these guys are just getting their feet wet, and it's going to take time to have a good average. Like, we can't talk about their average right now.
This is Dave saying this?
No, Rick.
Oh, this is Rick saying this. Okay. Well, I don't know, man. I mean, obviously, like, you can't doubt that they're obviously not like they didn't come up and make a huge splash right away in terms of average.
Right.
So you can't really argue that. I don't know how he was saying it. Maybe he I don't know. Maybe he didn't say, like, allude to the fact, oh, maybe given some more time, we can see some development. Yeah. Anything? No.
Yeah, no. And I think that he should have said that. And it just came off as negative, Tony. And my big theme here today is cut the negativity. Stop it, Tony. Stop it.
Mental attitude.
And Josh is saying, more importantly, penciled third spot in the lineup. Yes. Like 100% yes.
Yeah. There he is right there.
Yeah. I think, that makes a lot of sense. So I'm pumped. I mean, there's just no other way to say it. And I think we will see, and I don't know what you think, Tony, but couple more wins, couple more solid performances, and we're gonna see a kind of a shift in the attitude. And I know some of the fans have already shifted, but I think we're gonna see more shift, especially a couple more Dominguez home runs, Austin Wells hitting his first. I think we're gonna see that.
Yeah. I think you will as well, dude.
So interesting situation to play out for sure. And we will get back on the diamond tonight. Another 7:05 game in your favorite pitcher, Matt Manning, on the hill versus Clark Schmidt. So we'll talk more about that in a second. But the Yankees with a chance to go back over 500 here. So excited to see that later on. At the onset of the show, Tony, you mentioned 2 New York wins. So if you could tell us about an 11-5 throttling of the Washington Nationals yesterday.
Absolutely, dude. We talked about it yesterday. Quintana on the mound, someone who struggled to get wins, not because of his lack of effort or lack of good pitching, but because of the lack of offense he was paired up with during his starts. Last night was a good example of finally getting some run support. Quintana, by the way, had a final line, which was, again, we looked at his last 5 starts. He had 1 blip against the Braves, I think, but everything else was clean. For the first time as a Met, he goes 7 innings, giving up only 4 hits, 1 earned run, got 4 Ks. He's not a huge strikeout pitcher, only 1 walk as well. Efficient 97 pitches through those 7 innings. I think he easily could have went, honestly, another inning. I don't know about easily, but I think he could have went another inning because you will see, as we get more into it, some of the bullpen, I guess, follies that we had last night. But we don't talk about the offense.
Follies or Follies?
Follies. Foley?
Sean Reed Foley.
Stop it, dude.
Tony, I can't believe you didn't at least pick up. I'm not saying it was a good joke, but the fact that you didn't pick up on it.
I don't want to pick up on Sean Reed Foley at all, dude. I don't know why he's on the roster. I don't know why he's playing right now. Like, he sucked last season, too. I don't know why he's even still in the organization. We'll get to it, though, in a second. All right, so let's start off early and often here, top of the first. Nimmo leadoff hit, Lindor leadoff single. You got runners on first and second hit there with Nimmo, or first and third, I think, actually. And then Alonso, a sac fly, RBI start the game. Lindor, I think moved over to third, makes it 1-0. And then Francisco Alvarez hits a 419-foot dinger to left center field. I believe this is his 22nd home run of the season.
Had been a while. I have him on my fantasy team.
Yeah. He was in a little bit of a slump
Stole a bag as well.
He did, dude. And he actually stretched a single into a double later in the game, dude. He was
4-4 flat or no?
Yeah, dude. He was chugging along, dude.
But I mean,
oh my gosh.
Like one of the fastest catchers you've ever seen or no?
In recent history that comes to mind, yeah. Certainly on the Mets, dude. I mean,
like lapping Piazza.
Yes. Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Piazza would just strut,
Yeah.
Like, I feel like, But I want to say it was his 3rd extra base hit this season. A third double maybe. But after that, they end up ending the inning, but you're up 4-0 in the first inning. You're against Patrick Corbin, then obviously Quintana can come in here and feel pretty good about himself. Unfortunately, he does give up with a 1-earned run kind of early in the bottom of the first off of a Meneses single to right, which scored Young.
He's turned it around. Had a great year last year. Terrible in this season. Of course, I cut him. Then he does well fantasy-wise.
Classic.
But nobody talks about him. I think he was in the Mexican League for a while. Average is great. Not that much pop.
I think
but
he's 270 something.
I don't know why I was thinking it was like, but maybe I was looking at on base percentage. Let's see. So 279, the OPS 734. What's the on base 327? 327 is good, no?
So great, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
31 years old.
Yeah, I mean, good for him.
That's production. I mean, I'm surprised they almost didn't flip him at the deadline.
Honestly, yeah, that's true. But moving on here, because after that, you had Francisco Lindor, I believe, getting his 26th home run, top of the third here to center field. I think he's got this is 26th home run. I want to say he has about 25 or 27 stolen bags. So they're talking about him going for 30 and 30 this season, which is great for Lindor, obviously, and great for the Mets. After that, you had Brett Beatty roping a single to left field, scoring Vientos and Alvarez, making it 7-1 at that point. The boys were absolutely buzzing here because the next thing, they're top of the fourth, you have Brendan Nimmo hitting his first dinger of the night, making it 8-1. The following inning, Alonso goes for his 42nd home run, making it 9-1. I believe now he's 2 back of the lead. Matt Olson, I think, has 44 home runs in the season. And of course, I think Ohtani has 44 or 43 as well. So Alonso climbing up there. And then at that point, Quintana kind of finishes out his night, pitches 2 more clean innings. So it was great to see after giving up 1 run in the first, go 6 innings with no damage, feeling confident, looking great too. But then we go 8th inning here where some of the bullpen guys give up some runs. Unfortunately, this is, Coonrod, the first reliever you go to, of course, after, Quintana's like absolutely just dealing, giving up some runs here, gives up, I believe, 2 hits to Call and Alou, and then Young singles to center, gets his second RBI. After that, you have a walk, which brings in Alou, making it 10-3 at that point. And after that, Adams is a sac fly RBI, makes it 10-4. And then Vargas reaches an infield single, makes it 10-5, dude. And at that point, they pull Coonrod. He got no outs, gave up 2 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, obviously no strikeouts through 18 pitches in that inning, all for naught. And they do bring in Sean Reed-Foley, who does get out of the inning, but still, I'm just sick and tired of this guy coming in, and like his first 3 pitches are just way out of the zone. He has a tough time controlling his pitches at first, if at all he reaches that control. I just think, we've seen this guy now for a couple of years. I understand, you're itching for bullpen pieces and stuff like that. But this guy just doesn't have it. He didn't have it last season when he got called up, and it was kind of cool because he was tatted up. He's got like a funny little pitching stance, whatever, and he did do well at first. But it's just this guy just has such an issue with control. So there's clearly a mechanical issue he needs to work on. I think him and Hefner over there have to figure something out. But he does get out of the inning, gets 1 strikeout and then a couple of flyouts.
Come on,
Tony. Of course, dude.
We are on the battery.
Give me 5 minutes on Sean Reed-Foley.
5 minutes on Reed-Foley. And actually, instead of 5 minutes on Reed-Foley, I'm going to actually just go to a couple comments that we had. So let's see. The first was Kev, a little scud, saying, thank God no more Yankee talk. Yeah. Also saying that was a great Mets game. Now we're talking real baseball. So we're talking real baseball about a team 10 games under 500. And then Josh B saying, get the fuck out of here with that, you troll, Kev. Haha. And then Kev coming back with a Mauricio is better than Dominguez. And I mean, I think on both sides of this, I mean, there's nothing to like, you can't measure that at this point. Both guys look like they have a lot of potential.
Yes.
And
not a huge
we'll
sample
see
size.
it play out over the next
Mauricio's batting 400 right now, though.
10, 15, 20 years. And I think we both would agree that we hope both guys are stars. That's what New York needs, young stars.
Yes, you're totally right. Great job on the comments there, Brian.
Thank you, sir.
All right, so moving forward here, at that point, 10-5, and of course, I'm getting flashbacks to blowing it against the Nationals, and it's so funny because they actually started showing replays of 2 years ago when the Mets had a I think it was like a 10-4 or 10-5. No, it was 10-4. A 10-4 lead in the ninth inning. Diaz blows it. Nats ended up winning 11-10, courtesy of a Suzuki home run to end it. It might have been a grand slam. But it's so funny, dude. They're talking about this, and of course, Jason, they're like, oh, dude, it's like 10-5. They're not going to lose. I'm like, dude, little do you know. But, after almost blowing it in the eighth because of Coonrod, Nimmo comes out there in the ninth and cranks a 430-foot home run. I want to say the longest home run this season by him. I want to say also it was his second or third game with multiple home runs. I think he has 22 now as well. And that's his career high that he absolutely slammed, which it was 16, I think, before this season. So that contract, boding pretty well. And of course, after that, the Mets able to kind of shut them down in the bottom of the ninth, but of course, not without me sweating, dude. I wanted to show you actually. Let me see. Oh yeah, right here, dude. Drew Smith comes in for the ninth. And I understand that you have like a lot of runs to work with here. But by God, dude, I mean, Drew Smith was just trying to hammer. I'm going to share this screen too for the folks at home, dude. So let's see, play by play right here. Okay, so bang, here we are. Let me pull it in. So this is what we're looking at for Drew Smith here. And the first at bat against Call, right? Strike looking immediately, high and tight fastball, kind of maybe a little bit more lower in the middle of the zone, but still going for that high and tight there. But maybe missed his mark a little bit, so struggling with control. Tries to go high and tight again, but he goes higher, but more to the left, more over the middle of the plate a little bit. And then I think pitch clock violation, automatic ball there. And now he decides to try and like hammer the low and away. The slider works, hits the corner, strike looking. There was a four-seam fastball going the low and away again. He Call fouls it off. Slider low and away, fouls off to foul out. And then Alou comes up, grounds out, the high cheese there. So that was good, dude. I kind of appreciate those pitch sequences by Drew Smith. And I think Drew Smith is going to be, definitely a future bullpen piece for us. And honestly, I do enjoy him. I think he's, he was someone I feel like in the beginning of the year who just threw fastballs and now is mixing other pitches. But this is where shit started to piss me off here. Is when he walks young here on a 6-pitch at bat. Ball immediately low and away in a curveball. Throws a four-seamer, was going low and away, but it was too high, missed his mark, but still, fouled it off. Slider low and away, hits his target, strike looking there. And now he decides to start to hammer. It's a 1-2 count. And he's hammering the low and away, and he's just missing every time, dude. You're literally like 4 balls in a row. Kind of ridiculous. And he still just starts to hammer, strike. Finally gets a ground out, by kind of a low and inside pitch. But I just thought, watching him right there kind of pissed me off a little bit because I think against a better team, you're probably going to give up some more hits here. He's got to figure out. He's got to really figure out mechanically what was wrong there in order to kind of hit his mark, dude. I mean, it was kind of pissing me off a little bit, but that's totally fine. Then I'm getting the win, 11-5. Understand maybe he was using this opportunity to work on some things. But I like Drew Smith. I like him in the closing position. I got some trust in him for sure. So
goes into next season unquestioned 8th inning guy?
Yes. Yeah, I think so. Unquestioned, especially with his development of the slider, the curve. Like I said, I feel like in the beginning of the year, he was throwing just all fastballs. And this fastball, 95. It's not like he's throwing 101 on the gun.
Right.
So mixing in, I love, honestly, the strategy of like hammering sliders low and away and then throwing a fastball low and away. Just because you would think, a batter would probably anticipate some movement, maybe lay off the pitch, strike out looking. I think I like that strategy a lot. But he's just got to figure out mechanically what he can do better to hit that mark more often because he was throwing a lot of balls. That's for sure, dude.
And it's funny. I think it's almost a parallel to me with Michael King. How you couldn't stand Smith, wanted him out, and now like he's improved and developed, and now he's a crucial part of the pet.
Yeah, and I like that, dude. So it was a good win for the Mets here. You had 5 home runs through 4 different Mets. It was great to see that power from a lot of different guys. But of course, me always a little salty because it's like, all right, well, you know what, man? If we had good pitching to start off with this season, and a good bullpen, I mean, we would be in a phenomenal position to be competing for the division, probably with the Braves at this point. So,
and I mean, I don't know what the splits are, but has Lindor second half better numbers than first half or no?
Oh my God, yeah, hugely, dude.
So I'm saying, like, if that had happened earlier in the year,
right? That too. And it was nice, I mean, obviously you can't really tell if the young guy's being brought up, but Beatty had a phenomenal Jeter-esque play over there at third,
That's a big statement.
You want to see it, dude?
Sure.
Really? Okay, let's dude, now I'm excited. Let's do it.
All right.
Let's pull up, let's do Mets Nationals highlights here. I want to say it was somewhere along the 8th inning. Stand by with me, please. While I bring this up, bottom of the 8th, maybe. No, McNeil, this freaking idiot, should not be in left field.
Oh my God.
Door. Was it the 9th? No way, it was the 9th.
Right here.
Oh, this play by Mauricio. Kind of crazy, and they were talking about it for a while. Just because. He kind of like cut off Alonso here. But I believe this was on call or Meneses. But fly ball here. And obviously, Mauricio playing second base, Alonso playing first. Absolutely kind of almost like trucks Alonso, but makes a phenomenal play here into the netting. And I want to say it was this play right after. So you get the 2 young guys making back-to-back defensive plays here. So you got this was the Meneses play, actually. Hits the grounder literally almost down foul territory. And Brett Beatty makes a phenomenal throw, dude. Like on the button, kind of jumps there. I mean, what a freaking play by Beatty. To be in the minors, called up here, have that confidence, and on a freaking rope, dude. Solid stretch by Alonso. I mean, I'm sure that was a huge confidence boost for Beatty, too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, did I not fucking bring it in? Idiots. So this is the play from Beatty, by the way. Meneses, there's the throw. A little slow-mo replay here. Dude, a lot of Mets fans over there, by the way, in Washington. The backhand, the turn, the throw. I mean, he made it look pretty seamless and effortless, dude. What a great play, like I said. Probably a lot of confidence for him. I would expect, maybe for his bat to improve a little bit, hopefully, coming up from the minors. So, great game by the Mets. Kind of like, again, same deal what you were saying. Like, yeah, I always think about what it could have been if we were competing. But it was still a lot of fun to watch this game.
Yeah.
And it was good to see Quintana get a win, finally, having a great outing. And to see these young guys hit some dingers and play well, it's a lot of fun, dude.
And then Kev says, what happened to AFC? You talk too much about the Stangies.
That's true.
Take it
That's true,
easy. Dude. There's plenty of time for the AFC. We're just going to do some picks, and then we'll go to the AFC. Are you
go ahead?
No, you go.
No. Well, I was just saying, like, because I know that I picked the Braves last night.
Yeah, they lost.
Who lost?
Yep.
Michael Soroka, injured.
Again.
15-day IL. He has right forearm tightness, which is never
the guy
good.
Can't catch a break.
Dude, it's such a sad story. He was so promising coming up. Dude, pitching, major league pitcher, 21 years old, like
almost
dealing.
Mark Pryor, like.
Dude, it's so sad, And you would imagine, I mean, forearm tightness.
Never a good thing.
It's never a good thing, especially for someone who hasn't like pitched that much. It's like. Yeah. Hopefully it's nothing. Hopefully. But how else we do? I think I went 2 for 3.
We both went 2 for 3. So still it's I mean,
so we have 3 games, 2 games,
3 games separation.
31-28.
It is
it was 31. 34-31.
No, 33-31. Because we 2, it was 31-28. Each got 2, so 33-30. Are you backing Budo in the Mets.
Buteau, dude.
Buteau.
Have you heard why Buteau is starting? Because
No.
he took Carrasco's spot.
Okay.
Sunday, Carrasco, weight room incident. Dropped a 50-pound dumbbell on his finger, broken finger out for the season.
Purposely.
It's probably not even a real injury, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Either that or maybe Buck came in and threw it at him. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he's out for the season, which is very interesting. So Buteau in here. And again, looking at Buteau, I know he kind of got a little like popped when he was first called up.
Yeah.
But I think his last couple starts were pretty solid. Okay, so he's been used at the bullpen a couple times, but his last start was actually against Washington, where he went 4 2/3, 2 earned runs, 6 walks, 1K. Definitely has been having an issue with the walks. But I will still back Buteau. He's definitely improved. Looked good out of the pen. Has seen the Nationals lineup before. So I would say, maybe 5 2/3 out of him. Hopefully limiting those walks to just 3 walks, 2 earned runs, maybe a couple more, maybe 5 Ks. And of course, I just think that regardless of what he pitches, the offense behind him will be able to kind of help him out. Because they'll be versing Johan Adon. 5.9 ERA here. The last few starts against Miami, he goes some length, 6 innings, 5 innings, but gives up a lot of earned runs. 6 against Philly, 5 against Miami, 3 against Cincinnati, 2 earned runs in 3 innings against Oakland. So the guy can give up some runs. So I say give me the Mets here somewhere along the lines of 8-5.
Wow. There we go.
Let's go. Mauricio, 2 for 4 night. Double.
Nice.
And an RBI single.
Catching up to the Martian.
Let's go.
So, last time out, I believe Manning actually pitched decent. Not tonight. Okay. Clark, 6 scoreless. I think Manning will be chased after 4 1/3, giving up 6 runs and 10 hits. And this is going to get ugly. I think at the end of the day, this is a 10 spot for the Yankees.
This could get ugly quick.
And maybe the Tigers score 3 in garbage time. So 10-3.
Wow.
Judge a homer. Dominguez with his first Yankee Stadium home run, as well as Austin Wells, and 3 hits from Oswald Peraza.
Wow.
And I know somewhere Yanni is rolling his eyes, but that's what's going to happen. Guaranteed, Tony.
All right, dude.
What do you got for number 2?
Number 2 here. I'm looking at this Giants-Cubs game. I'll take the Giants here. Why not, dude? You have Alex Wood on the mound, who's kind of had like an up and down esque season. But he's getting a start here, which is pretty interesting. 5 4 in the year in terms of starts. Has been used a lot out of the bullpen, actually, as of recently. All of obviously starting this month and last month. Pitching 3 innings as just an inning eater guy out of the bullpen. But he's getting a start here. So you'd imagine, he can probably get you 4 to 5 innings maximum. But I mean, his last 5 appearances, he's had no earned runs, not many hits given up. His last 5 appearances, I guess he's got 6 hits given up in his last 5 appearances, but limited walks, 3 walks. So getting through innings, no problem. And the Cubs here are throwing out Jordan Wicks, 24-year-old. Whose birthday was just 5 days ago, just turned 24. A couple starts here against Cincinnati, against Pittsburgh, 5 innings pitched, 1 earned run in both of those starts. So pretty consistent. But I think, against the Giants here, maybe Wilmer Flores can get his 22nd home run of the season. Estrada's been batting pretty well, 271 average. JD Davis is leading the team with 62 ribbies, dude. So
Flores, you're getting tight. At the end of the day.
I mean, they got some production, but I'm not that tight, dude.
Yeah.
And in terms of Cubs offense, I mean, I think it's just Bellinger for them.
Suzuki. Do they still have Sia? Did they keep him?
I don't think. Do they?
They traded him. Seiya. I feel like they might have traded him.
I feel like they may have, dude. Double checking the depth chart here. Oh yeah, they do still have him.
Okay.
Seiya Suzuki, dude. He's been doing all right. He's got 2 home runs his last 2 games against the Giants specifically. But I don't think he's gonna home run again. 3 straight games, no way. Law of averages, 0 for 4 night. Giants win this one 5-2.
All right. All right, Tony. The matchup of the former teammates, Justin Verlander, Max Scherzer. When it rains, it pours. I think Scherzer lit up by Houston. I'm going to say Alex Bregman.
Been saying this all season.
2 home runs. And we'll give Pena 4 for 5 night. Another onslaught. Verlander 6 scoreless. Astros 10. Rangers 1. The free fall of a lifetime continues.
Stop it, dude. Free fall for who? Max Scherzer?
Yeah.
Have you looked at his last few starts?
Doesn't matter.
Fair enough. So my next pick here, my last pick, I guess. Yeah. Looking at the matchup here, I was gonna take the Orioles, but I don't know, Kyle Gibson. I feel like for whatever reason, every time I pick him, he's just like, ugh. Last few starts absolutely trash too. But you never know with the Angels. I'll stay away from that game. Let's see who's pitching for the Royals. Jordan Lyles, dude. Ugh. Oh, okay. Take Seattle. Why not, dude? I mean, Seattle probably licking their chops at the fact that the Rangers are in an absolute dither. Trying to catch Houston. I'd actually be kind of surprised. Maybe they're rooting for the Rangers to beat Houston. Who knows? But all I know is that Logan Gilbert is going to pitch a pretty solid game here in Cincinnati. Looking at this series so far, Cincinnati actually leads the series 2-0, beating the Mariners 6-3 in game 1, 7-6 in game 2. So it seems like the Seattle Mariners actually struggling a little bit here. And they've lost 4 of the last 5 games. We know they dropped 2 out of 3 against the Mets. We know that. And then I guess they dropped their first 2 here against Cincinnati. But I think law of averages, a little bounce back here. I mean, Cincinnati on a little bit of a heater, but you know what? I don't give a shit, dude. Because we know Rodriguez is coming here and take command of this game. Like he has been all season, maybe his 28th and 29th home run of the season, chasing 30 home runs. And give me Seattle winning this one on the back of Rodriguez, 5-2.
All right. I'm going to go with the Dodgers, bouncing back from last night's disappointing loss. Kershaw on the hill, bullpen blew it, all of that. But today, Lance Lynn, who's pitched well as a Dodger, going up against JT Chargos. And exactly. And I just think that, listen, Marlins are the Marlins. And I think after a nice 6-3 win last night, disappointment today. Lynn, I could see at times has high strikeout numbers. So I'm going to say he strikes out 12 over 6, gives up 2 runs. Dodgers score 6 and win 6-3 to take this game.
Wow. Good picks.
So those are the picks. But now let's go to the world of the National Football League.
6 for 101, 2 touchdowns. To Evans, touchdown, Tampa Bay. How about that throw? Sam Darnold blasted. Oh my goodness, did he take a hit? In trouble once, brings him down. Loft one for Odell Beckham Jr. Got it down, touchdown.
Hey, all right. So as we had said, and Tony, you're gonna kill me for this, but I don't know. I guess I just had a momentary lapse, forgot to write it down. I don't know why I can't remember this. I almost want to. It's bothering me. Before you tell me, I just want to just look at the matchups. I feel like I could figure this out myself.
Did you not take down any of my picks?
No, I did. Oh. I'm just missing the last one. Oh, okay. You picked. No, actually, yeah, I missed it.
Who do you think I picked?
Well, I know you picked the best of the Giants. I guess if I had to go third game, Braves?
No. I'm trying to remember myself.
You actually whoops.
Giants over the Cubs. Oh, the Mariners.
The Mariners. Gotcha. After the nice walk-off. Or no, the Reds walk-off last night. Gilbert back. Sorry. Embarrassing, but I'll admit it.
It's okay, dude.
But yeah, we're talking AFC today. Opener on Thursday. Lions at Chiefs. Obviously, Chiefs, defending AFC champs. And obviously, I think it's every year of Mahomes' career, they've been in the AFC Championship game. So something to keep in mind for sure. But we're going to kind of give our order of finish and then our playoff teams for the AFC. All right, so we'll start with the AFC East. Obviously, we've talked in length, Tony, about the Jets, Hard Knocks, Rodgers, all of that. We've had a lot of conversation about New England, possibly some faults of Bill Belichick. Haven't talked too much about the Dolphins. Obviously, Tua being a concern at quarterback, the head injuries last year, but we know the talent, Tyreek Hill, and Jalen Waddle at wide receiver. And then the Bills. We've talked about Allen, the questionable decision-making, people calling for McDermott's job, possible tension with Diggs. They say there's not. Who knows what the situation is? But if you could go from 1 to 4, your order of finish in the AFC East.
Okay. You ready?
Yeah.
AFC East. I got Jets.
Okay. And then go wins too. Sorry. Record.
12-5.
Okay.
All right. I got Dolphins coming in at second. 11-6.
11-6. Okay.
Bills third. 10-7. Very competitive division here. Patriots are 8-9.
Pats 8-9. So almost this is like the AL East of football in a sense. All teams, around 500.
Yeah.
No bad record, right? No.
Sure. If you want to compare it to that, dude. I wasn't really thinking that personally. But...
Wow. Wow. All right, and then we'll go my AFC East here.
What do you think?
Not to copy you, but I have said for a
obviously,
while,
Jets,
yeah. No, but I'm saying I did say they would win 12 games. So,
okay.
Jets 12-5. I am gonna give the Bills second, but I am gonna actually give them 10-7.
Okay.
Dolphins, I'm gonna say are gonna go 9-8, and the Patriots are gonna go 4-13.
Love it.
So
4.
It might be Belichick's worst season of career. We'll have to take a look at that one.
You think Mac Jones flat on his face?
Flat on his face, off the roster next season. But yeah, he's done a bad job of building the roster. Bills and Dolphins are talented. We all know that. But major concerns. Obviously for the Dolphins, like I said, Tua. I mean, what's gonna happen there?
I think even if Tua though, Mike White comes in, savior,
Mike White
dude.
comes
I'm telling
in. I don't.
Dude,
it's tough to
come on.
Nobody was a bigger Mike White guy than me, Tony. But I just don't see that. This is the Jets' year. This is gonna be the first time in forever that they beat every team in the division once, at least.
By the way,
that's happening.
I watched last episode of Hard Knocks last night with Jay.
Legendary.
It was a big fluff episode because preseason's over.
Right. I didn't even know they had a fluff episode. Okay,
Yeah.
I thought it was over.
So it was kind of nice. It was cool though because they showed like some guys getting cut, some guys who made the practice squad who were still happy, and then of course Rodgers, being stoked for the season and stuff. But a little fluffy, but it was cool to see the personality of a lot of these guys more so in this episode. So that's cool.
Yeah. All right. Changing gears here. We are gonna go to the AFC West.
Let's go, baby.
What do you got for me?
I think it's no surprise here. Chiefs 16-1.
I mean, that is a surprise. 16-1 is tough, but
it is very tough. But
no one is arguing the greatness of the Chiefs. You lose your best receiver, you win the Super Bowl. So that speaks to itself.
What happened to Travis Kelce too?
No,
hyperextended his knee, questionable for Game 1.
But he'll be out there. He'll be talking smack.
Yeah,
and you're going to be tight.
And honestly, dude, regardless, exactly, he's going to be talking even more smack. He's going to play. He's probably still going to do well. He's nothing can stop me, baby.
Right.
So, and honestly, hyperextended knee, obviously you're cautious, but I've hyperextended my knees and elbows. Totally fine. Coming in number 2, Chargers 10-7. Let's go. Herbert, baby. Big year for him. Big year.
Eckler playing for a contract.
Austin Eckler, you talk about like just discipline and drive,
toughness.
Oh my god,
a blocker,
dude. He
a
really
receiver,
is, dude. Can do anything.
Everything.
Dude. He wills himself to the game.
100 catches, maybe too.
Coming in at 3rd, I'm gonna say Broncos 8-9.
Okay. Russ, better year or no?
Yeah, a little better. You got Peyton in there, probably better play calling, better attitude, better atmosphere. But ultimately, Russ, come on, I don't know.
And then what do you got for the Raiders?
Raiders coming in last here for the AFC West, 6-11.
McDaniels canned midway.
Probably. Yeah, I would say midway, if not by the end of the season, at least, dude. And Jimmy G stays healthy, but maybe struggling with some bonehead plays, some bad decisions, turnovers, some bright spots, but inconsistent play from Jimmy G.
All right. So AFC West for me, I think it's going to be a little more competitive than you're thinking here. But I'm going to say the Chiefs are going to go 13-4.
Really?
And then I'm going to say second place here. I think I think the Chargers are the second best team in this division. I'm going to say they're actually going to go 11-6. And then the Broncos. Broncos here, I think Wilson will be better, probably better than you and Michael expect. And, Mr. Unlimited, all of that. Peyton, good weapons. So I'm going to say Broncos, we'll give them 9-8. And then the Raiders, and Josh is talking about Kev being tight.
Yeah.
I do think matching the Patriots at 4-13. So both Belichick and his understudy for all these years, Josh McDaniels, nice matching clean records there. Moving along, we are going to go to the AFC North.
All right, baby. Well, I think it's pretty obvious who's going to win this division here. Give me the Bengals. And I'm giving them a 14-3 record.
Any concern, Burrow, the calf,
No.
coming back?
No, dude. Stop it.
Great offense. Got a lot of talent. Higgins, Chase, and then Mixon restructuring to come back.
Love it. Who's their tight end?
At one point they had Hayden Hurst, but I don't think he's back. No. These are no.
Oh yeah, Arizona Cardinals.
Just go to depth chart. Go to depth chart. Is he right? ESPN up. Irv Smith. Okay, I think he used to be on Minnesota. I don't think he's
anything crazy.
Yeah, 25 years old, second round pick out of Minnesota, 2019. All right, so Bengals at 1. What do you got the rest of the way?
Oh, sorry. So then I'll give me the Ravens. In the 2-hole there, 10-7.
10-7.
Yeah. And then give me the Steelers, who will be 9-8. And that would leave last place to the Cleveland Browns at 7-10.
7-10. So now improved play out of Watson or no? From last year? I know he looked a little rusty.
Yeah. I mean, I guess maybe like later down the stretch of the season, he's going to look a little better, but I think it's going to be a situation of too little too late.
Okay. All right. Hard to disagree with the Bengals at 1. I think this division is going to be very tight. So I think the winner here is actually only 11 wins. So Bengals 11-6. I think at number 2, a lot of talk about the Ravens, Odell, Lamar with the new contract. But who people are down on, and Shokri was telling me there was some articles, saying, oh, the Steelers, Pickett, all of that. What are they going to do? But they're always over 500, always competitive, always a great defense. So I think Kenny Pickett, year 2, step forward. Najee Harris, probably his best yards per carry season that we've seen. We've seen the line struggle a little bit. I think he gets it done on the ground. And I think Deontay Johnson, who didn't have a touchdown last year, rebounds to have a nice year alongside George Pickens. And believe it or not, the Steelers are going to go 10-7.
Wow.
And let's just say John Harbaugh, Harbaugh. I always just say Harbaugh. Pooch would always make fun of me, but it's Harbaugh. Either just what other name is like that?
No,
but
another name.
That's a different story. So I have them going 9-8. So no playoffs again. And I don't know. I think ownership is going to start getting a little impatient with the Ravens. You take out that Super Bowl run with Flacco, and there just hasn't been too much success. And I don't know what they need to do. But I just think inconsistency, injuries have bogged them down. I don't know if coaching has anything to do with it or not. I know Harbaugh is, seen as one of the better coaches in the league. And then for the Browns, I'm going to say they match the dealer with the Ravens, lose out in the tiebreaker, but they go 9-8 as well. So a dogfight, which is typical, the type of games that we see in the AFC North. I think that will be reflected in the standings, Tony. So that's what we got for the AFC North. And then we are going to bring up the rear here with the AFC South. Tony, what do we got for the AFC South?
Okay, so for the South, we're starting off with the Jags, baby, 11-5.
Jags 11-5. Okay.
Are you blowing it, dude?
Actually, I don't think so. I don't know why I was confused there, but yeah, no, we're good. We're good. All right. So Jacksonville 11-5. What do we got?
Tennessee 9-8.
Wait, no, Jacksonville. You said 11-6 or 12-5.
11-6.
Okay, sorry. Jags 11-6 or no, 11-6.
Yes,
Okay,
correct.
Titans
9-8.
Titans 9-8.
You're gonna see a lot of Julius Chestnut on the Titans this season. Check it out, grad.
Yep.
Telling you, dude. Don't get me like that.
No, I know.
Colts 7-10 coming in at third there.
A. Richardson, anything this year or no?
I mean, I guess he's kind of highly touted coming into this season. So I don't know, a little touch of like leadership and
Touch and go.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think he's gonna have a phenomenal season. I mean, I think maybe he'll show some type of future, but I just feel like it'll take a couple of years for the Colts to be that competitive. I feel. And then that leaves Texans last place with what I have as the worst record so far in the AFC at 4-13.
4-13. Okay.
Yeah.
How does CJ Stroud look this year?
Terrible.
Really?
Yeah.
Like bust.
Like bust, huge bust, leading the league in interceptions.
Wow. Okay. All right. So for me here, we're gonna go Jags, and this is by far gonna be the worst win-loss of the divisions. Jags winners 10-7. I want to say the Colts in second at 7-10.
Okay.
Wow. And then let's see the Titans. I don't know. I mean, Tannehill, DeAndre Hopkins, I don't know. Derrick Henry, you would think another injury around the corner. Much as a fan as I am of him, I'm going to say they actually go 6-11. Vrabel possibly canned. And then the Texans, we talked about Stroud. They're going to get another top pick, which, might, help them out in the future. But I am going to give them the old 3-14, Tony. So
that is tough.
The AFC South, we've seen them labor through the last couple of years, and I think we're going to see something similar here. And then I'm just looking wild card wise by record. It looks like your top wild card is the Dolphins, and then you have I believe it's 3 teams at 10-7. So you have the Chargers, the Bills, and the Ravens. Oh,
Ravens 10-7. Yeah.
Ravens. So who gets left out here?
I would think that the Ravens definitely.
So then, okay, so then you're good then, because then it's Dolphins at the number 1, Bills. And then Bills, and then Chargers.
Yeah.
Okay. And then for my AFC, let me just go up here. For my AFC wild card, let's see. So I have Bills, Steelers, and I guess the 9-8 is going to get in here. We'll say Broncos, actually.
Wow. Wait, Broncos missing?
No, making. Yeah.
Wow.
Bills, Steelers, Broncos. Okay. And then what is our AFC championship game?
I guess we're gonna go Jets Chiefs, dude.
Jets and the Chiefs. Jets versus Chiefs, and our winner?
New York Jets.
Wow.
I'm curious to see who you would pick here, Mahomes boy.
I hate to sound like a copycat, but I don't know how you could see anything else.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think at least the game itself, it's going to be like Chiefs Jets.
I don't know who would pick off the Chiefs other than the Jets.
Yeah.
Chargers?
Bills, definitely not.
No.
I mean,
No.
I guess Bengals
True, but I
still.
don't know. I just think there's greatness, with the Chiefs, and it's tough to take, and that's going to be a very, very tough one. For
game, dude.
for the Jets, and I think the whole thing is, and they'll get some experience playing in the regular season. Is Robert Saleh needs his best defensive coaching job of his career.
Oh yeah,
Against Mahomes. There's a lot of trickery, and they're just gonna have to get the job done. What do you think? I was just thinking about with the Chiefs. Obviously, last year they kind of split up the wide receiver duties, of course, featuring Kelsey. Juju defects and goes to the Patriots. So you're left with Tony, Valdez Scantling. I'm trying to think of and Sky Moore. Do you think it's the same thing after going all these years, featuring Hill, where wide receiver, it's just going to be and almost to keep the defense off guard that they're just going to spread the ball around?
Yeah, I mean, you would think so, right?
I just feel like, and I don't know if he could stay healthy, and we've seen him have some attitude problems before, but that Tony, I could just see him having a breakout year. There's a lot of talent there. Things didn't end well with the Giants. But you think about Mahomes' hard arm and his speed.
Yeah. And I mean, again, you saw it immediately when he came to the Chiefs.
Right.
He had not a lot of targets, barely any catches. Comes to the Chiefs, gets targeted more, catches more, better attitude, plays better. So, I mean, and of course, any receiver with having Mahomes as quarterback has to be stoked just to be out on the field. Not to mention, I mean, you look at the body of work of the Chiefs in general. I mean, you got to be happy for playing that team, right?
Yeah.
So,
exactly.
There we go.
And then it'll be interesting to see running back and how the mighty have fallen. They come off that Super Bowl championship. I guess at this point it would be 3 years ago, Mahomes' first Super Bowl. They draft Clyde Edwards-Helaire, only running back in the first round of that year. He's actually third on the depth chart. Isaiah Pacheco, second year back from Rutgers. We saw him explode on the scene last year. Penciled in as a starter. And then Jerick McKinnon, who I have to check this, but okay, he's 31 years old, and really just came alive, down the stretch for the Chiefs and was a very important part of what they did. 512 receiving yards last year. And this is a guy who's, missed a lot of time. I think he's torn his ACL 3 times, but an Andy Reid favorite. Signed that big contract with the Niners, but missed 2 seasons. And finally, when he was healthy, restructured, and then the Chiefs grabbed him in 2021. So yeah, I just think it's like, I almost compare it in a way, Tony, to what Andy Reid has done with his offensive personnel to what Bill Belichick used to do, but for whatever reason, no longer has the eye for the talented guys. Because you look at it, McKinnon arguably could be retired at this point, and he's playing a big role. Pacheco, a 7th round draft pick. Tony, the former disgruntled 1st round pick. Valdez Scantling, who had some success with the deep ball with Rodgers, but kind of overlooked. And Sky Moore, a mid-round draft pick. They're not putting a lot into those positions, but kind of going with the sum of the parts, as Michael would say.
Yeah, no, he's giving you the nod. Yes. I think you're right. The guy, all signs points to you're washed. So.
But Reid, one of the best ever. Andy Reid.
Oh, Andy Reid?
No, I was making the comparison that Belichick used to be good at
Andy
plucking
Reid,
these guys that
right.
maybe aren't first rounders, making all this money.
Right.
But I'm saying now Reid is kind of taking over that from Belichick in terms of that it's just strength, and because, and kind of similar,
right?
He has the best quarterback in the league, like
right.
Belichick once did, that he can work with anybody.
Yeah, I think so. Again, I think it really all goes back to kind of what you're saying. You are playing with one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He's going to, exaggerate anyone's, I guess,
abilities,
strengths, specifically, and he's going to enhance he's going to fix anyone's weaknesses. I mean, it's so ridiculous how a player or even a receiver is not even that quick. Because they end up, double teaming Travis Kelce for some reason. It's going to leave a guy open, like there's ways around, plucking, like you said, mid-level guys, enhancing their game. And then again, I mean, those mid-level guys who come in, get a shot to play, get a lot of touches, a lot of looks because of their quarterback, because of the rest of the team, because of how Andy Reid has built this team. And then it's just one of those teams, one of those scenarios where anyone you put in any spot is going to shine.
Yeah.
And it's very impressive. And yes, you're right. I think there is a thin line over having that ability and then being too arrogant. And I think that's what you see with Belichick, where he thinks he's too big or too smart to fail. And he's trying to do all these cute moves and do like I said, like just almost try too much and think of himself too highly to think, I'll pick this guy. He'll be good. I can develop him. I can do this. But in reality, you're making bad moves and it's clearly suffering. Because look at your team, look at the past couple of years, look at your record, look at what Barnes is projecting you to do. I mean, it's not good.
And I think the difference too, Belichick is like really, really obsessed with undrafted, played rugby at Brown, like that type of thing. Went to a service academy, like really reaching for it. And Andy Reid just feels like
keeps it simple.
He needs, kind of mid-level talent, but he's not going to stretch and try to think that everybody as an undrafted free agent is going to be a Pro Bowler. That's the difference.
You're totally right, Brian.
So we'll have Chiefs Lions tomorrow. We'll definitely do a preview there.
NFC?
That one, you'll have the NFC,
right? And
that one's going to be on NBC at 8:20 tomorrow. And today, Tony, is the last day till mid-February where we can no longer say we're not in football season.
Yes, correct.
I mean, that's big.
Great.
And if you think about the times in between games, I mean, what is it? Because Monday to Thursday, 3 days.
Yeah.
Thursday to Sunday, 3. So
sick.
There's not more than a 3-day gap until February, Tony, without football.
You're hyped. I'm hyped, honestly. There's all these matchups. There'll be some great football being played.
The football mindset is returning for one Anthony Materiello. Other than that, anything you wanted to just mention here as we close up shop?
I don't think so, dude. Great show. Great predictions. I'm excited to see kind of where these teams end up, honestly. Not that I'm wishing for the season to be over, but I'm excited to see where our predictions end up.
Yeah, absolutely. And as always, shout out to the company. Always making a presence on our show, the comments, all the great dialogue. So we really appreciate that. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. And we encourage everybody to continue to comment, like, and subscribe. All of the archives on the YouTube page, Tony, Michael, Renee in costume, the merch at downtimetv.com.
Great
we want
merch.
Everybody to enjoy the day. Enjoy the games. Let's go Yankees.
Let's go Mets.
And we will see you.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.